All right, what's up, everyone? It's Ryan Small here. I'm gonna quickly go over a few pairs on the watch list for this up and coming week. So let's get right to it. All right, of course, one of the first pairs I'm gonna start off with is the U.S. dollar index. And quickly looking at this, you kind of can already spot this high and this low. And then once you come and look at this low, you can clearly see that the lows of 2020 come around 96.50, and then we got a straight rejection from that area. And understanding the trend lines, we have this descending trend line and this ascending trend line. This ascending trend line, I started it from this point of May 2018, and then I connected it to this next point of June 24, 2019. And then from there, it just extended out. So starting from this high, because this high is like the most relevant price, you can see that price pushed down, made a wave down, came back up, made a lower high, pushed down, made a lower low. And then it found that support level that we just talked about that are now the lows of 2020. And then from there, we got a break above this same descending trend line. Once we got that break above, price came back, retested, now acting, a descending trend line is now acting as support. It was once acting as resistance when it was down, when price was down here. Once it broke above, it started acting as support. Price closed above. And then also, if you look, it closed above a psychological level of 97.50 and also closed above the 50 EMA. The next two candles also closed above the 50 EMA, and then this next candle was a strong bullish engulfing candle that pushed price above this previous lower high, showing us that the bulls are in control. And then once we got that break, once we got this bullish move and this break, you can clearly see that the market continued to move to the upside. So last week, price pushed up and the wick past this overall high, but the candles failed to close above it. So now we're trying to see if price wants to push up and reach this 100 resistance, or if we're going to get a pullback back down to possibly 99 or 98.50. So with my arrows, let's see. So where price is at right now, it's around 99.50. So now we're either going to see price push up, possibly reject from this this resistance level, because this resistance level is the high there. So if we get a break above that, we're possibly going to push up and make new highs around 100. Even if we get that and price starts showing bearish confirmation, we could get a pullback from there. But overall, the market is looking bullish. So you would kind of want to wait for more confirmation. But now if we don't push up that high, and let's say we push up towards like 99.80, 99.75, and price respects and doesn't close above this high right here, we're possibly going to get that pullback back down to either 99 or that 98.50 like this. And then once price gives us that type of price action, then we can kind of reconsider and reevaluate what the market could do next. But overall, this is the move that we're going to wait for to see if price can push above this resistance. If it does, it'll possibly hit this 100 resistance level. And if not, we're going to see price push up towards 99.8, 99.75, give us some type of rejection, and then possibly drop back down towards 99 or 98.50 support level. So overall, we could need to see, because if you just look and take this is the high, and if price doesn't break above this high, then we're going to get that rejection regardless. So we may not even get that strong push. We may just see price wick past this a little bit and then push down. Or if we do get that break, then we're possibly going to break this high right here. And then once price gets around here, we're going to have to reevaluate to see if we get that bearish confirmation of a rejection, or if we just break straight through that and then continue with the bullish momentum. So kind of just need to wait and see how price reacts around this 99.70 level. And then from there, we can kind of, take the trades based off US dollar-based pairs if the dollar index wants to get weak, or if it wants to continue the bullish movement, because it's been bullish strong. It's been strong bullish since February 3rd. So we just kind of need to wait to see. The month is almost over, so I'm pretty sure that this month closed this month is already showing some type of bullish engulfing. Right now we're on the weekly, so just looking at the monthly, you can see that we have this strong bullish candle. So now we're just trying to see how this week is going to play out. If we get that rejection back down, then we're possibly going to get that correction towards 99 to 98.50. All right, so understanding that, now we can start looking at other dollar-based pairs. So the next pair I'm going to go to is gold. All right, so yeah, gold has been strongly bullish after it broke above 1580, 1585. So yeah, so let me just start this off on the weekly. I could delete this real quick. Okay, so when price broke above this resistance or supply zone, it also pushed up towards 1608, and then it wicked down, but the price didn't close above 1600. It closed like around 1570, 1560. And then from there, you can see that this next candle pushed down and retested this previous resistance level. And then from there, we got bulls pushing back up, came back up towards 1590, still didn't hit 1600. And then we got another rejection back down towards 1550. And then if you look, if you drew your fib from this low to this wick high, you can see that that rejection pulled back and hit the 38.2. And then from there, we started seeing another bullish rally. So once price pushed down towards like 1550, it closed at 1570, showing that the bulls are still in control. The next candle pushed price up, and then the next candle gave us a strong bullish engulfing, and it took out this level of 1610. So now we're looking to see, once price broke above 1610, it continued the bullish movement, and then it came up, hit the negative 27 TP around 1654, and then also it pushed up even higher towards 1680, and now it's kind of giving us a pullback. So because this market is so bullish, of course, you can expect a possible pullback, but I don't really like to take sales off of strong bullish momentum like this. So if anything, we may see, you know, a small pullback to like here or so, where this wick is at. And then from there, I would like to see some type of continuation to the upside. So overall, just understand that because this market is so bullish, I don't really want to take any type of sales. I'm just really looking for buys until we get a strong, unless we get a strong like rejection or a strong correction. So now if price were to like break below this support level around 1645 and then push down, then we may get another rejection back down towards 1620, 1600, which is around this level right here. But because the market is so bullish, I don't even really expect that type of pullback. I just, if we do get a pullback, I expect a small type pullback and then a continuation to the upside, because as you can see, even on the daily chart, you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days of bullish price action. So all week the market went bullish for the most part. And if you look for that week, the market pushed up 1,100, almost 1,200 pips just in that week. It started, well, that week to start this Sunday off, because this is the candle that opened up at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. And then this one candle that's opened up this Sunday is already jumped up around 350 pips. So just understand that the market is so bullish on gold that I'm not really looking for corrections. I'm only looking for buys unless we get a strong drop below below 1640. Then we may see 1620, 1600 get hit. And then from there, I'm looking for any type of bullish price action. But because the market is so bullish, I don't expect that deep of a pullback. I just expect a small correction and then the continuation to the upside. So that's my thoughts on gold. USDCHF. All right. So yeah, USDCHF, it pushed up towards like 0.984 on the daily, as you can see. And then also, if I just zoom out real quick, go to the weekly so you can get a better perspective. I started my trend line off from this bottom around February 12th, 2018, and I connected it to this next point around August 12th, 2019. And then from there, I just drew it out to the future. And currently, you can see that price pushed up, and that ascending trend line where it was acting as support is now acting as resistance. And it's also around this key 0.98 resistance level. So now we're going to see if price wants to hold below this. And if we do hold below, we're going to see a rejection to the downside, possibly towards 0.97 through 0.96 support level. So on the daily, you can see when price pushed up to that same level that we were talking about, to end last week, we had a strong bearish engulfing candle showing that the bears has some type of control to end the week. So now we're just waiting to see if price wants to break above this high right here. So let me just highlight. So this high right here, if we hold below this and hold below this overall trend line, then we're going to see that correction to the downside. So this arrow is what I had from last week. I had price pushing up to here and then rejecting. It kind of pushed a little bit higher just by a few pips, and then we had that strong rejection. So let me just delete that. So now you can see price pushed down, rejected the 50 EMA around 0.977, and then it gapped up towards like 0.98 resistance level. So now we're trying to see if price wants to push up a little bit higher, maybe back up towards 0.982. And then from there, we're going to look for bearish price action, or we're going to see if the market just wants to reject from this 0.9805 level and then give us that next drop to the downside. And you can look to the left and see where price could potentially go next. Let me just draw a horizontal array. So you have this wick right here, like this. So you could possibly drop this down to this one right here, like that. And this is what the next possible point where price will go. So if we get that correction, if we get that rejection from this level right here, price is possibly going to come down another 50 pips towards 0.975, 0.974. From there, we need to break below this. So from there, I would like to see maybe like a break below. And then if we could get a pullback, that'd be nice. Let's see. If we could get a possible pullback to where that's acting as support, or resistance, and then from there, I would like to see that continuation, possibly back down towards like 0.964, 0.960, anywhere like that. Because if you look to the left, these lows are going to be critical for this market. So if we get something like this, the price breaks below this key support level, we get a retest, now acting as resistance. That holds, I'm going to look for that next wave to the downside. Just like that. So overall, I'm still bearish on USDCHF. I sent the signal out, so I'm still holding that. Stops are at break even. I took some profits last week. I have other stops at break even. So overall, I just need price to hold below this 0.985, 0.986 level. Overall, if we hold below that, then we're going to see this move to the downside. Even if we don't get this pullback, we're still going to see a move back down to possibly 0.97 at the least. All right, so that's USDCHF, and then I'm not going to go over EU and UCAD, but UCAD I'm still bearish on, just like USDCHF, as long as those highs hold. So let me move over to GBPJPY. All right, so right now I'm on the daily chart, just looking at this. I don't want to look back too far. You can just see starting from this high, and then with this descending trend line, this trend line from this point connected to this point and drew it out to the future. As you can see, the market pushed up, broke above, retested back below, hit the 50 EMA, closed above, came back down, retested it one more time. That 142.5 support level, key psychological level. Let me just copy and paste. So you can see the breakout, perfect breakout retest. Broke out, retested, and then from there, strong bullish engulfing. And this bullish engulfing pushed price above this previous high right here. From there, it broke also above the supply level around 143.5. From there, price closed above that level. This next candle, it came back, barely wicked it. So now we got that breakout retest of that level, and then we had another strong push to the upside, and price came just a few pips shy of 145's resistance level, which is another key psychological level. So now where we're at, we're going to see, let me go down to the 4 hour. So now we may be due for either a correction, or we're going to either take out that 145 level. So looking at this, let me see, horizontal array. So this support level right here is going to be key around 144. Right now, price is at 144.3. So if price stays above this 144, or yeah, this 144 support level, we're possibly going to get another move to the upside, and then we're going to hit that 145. But if this 144.97 level is going to be the high, then we're possibly going to be in due for some type of correction. So right now, if this low holds, we're going to possibly see another move to the upside, and then this 145 is going to get hit. If it's broken, then we're going to see continuation. But now if it's just hit, and then now we're just kind of rounding off to like a double top type reversal, we're possibly going to get that rejection from there. But now, if price doesn't have, or the bulls don't have enough strength to push up there, we may just see like a small movement back to the upside. And then from there, we're possibly going to get that drop back down to 144. Once price, or if price hits 144, this is where it's going to be a key breaker bounce scenario. From there, we're either going to get another wave to the upside, or we're going to get more drop back down towards that 143.5 level, which was previous a supply level, but now it's going to act as a demand level. And if you look to the left, this will also be retesting this previous resistance level to over here. So something like that is what I'm expecting on GJ. Right now, because it's Sunday, I don't like to like base my analysis and then take, what I'm seeing on Sundays because the market just opened today. So usually I like to wait for like Monday night, Tuesdays, and then I want to, actually place the trades. But right now I'm just kind of seeing what potentially can play out. And then once the days go by for the week, then we can, start to actually dictate where the market could possibly go based off what the market is showing us. So, all right, that's GBPJPY. It's pretty simple. Just wait for the actual movement, see if price wants to hold above 144. If so, we're possibly going to hit that 145. If price can't reach 145, we're possibly going to get a drop back down to 144. Once price gets to 144, it's going to be key breaker bounce scenario, and then we're going to wait to see if price wants to break below. If it breaks below, we're coming back down to 143.50. If it rejects, it's possibly coming back up to 144.5. If we break 144.5, it's coming back up to 140. If it breaks above 144.5, we're possibly coming back up to 145 psychological level. All right, so that's GJ. We go to EJ. So EJ pushed. I caught this move from like 120 down to like 118.5, and then I expected a pullback, but the pullback was a little higher than I expected. But regardless, when it pushed up, it just came up to this 121 key level. And if you look to the left, this was the previous resistance. And just so you can zoom out like I showed previously, I started my trend line from this point down here around October 7th, and then connected it to this point around January 7th, 2020. And then you can see that when price broke below this ascending trend line, it came back up and retested. And then that's when we got that drop and make a new lower low. So once price pushed up, the market wicked back above this lower high, but the candlesticks failed to close above it. So as long as the candlesticks aren't closing above this high, we're possibly going to get a drop back down to 120. If it breaks below 120, we're going to possibly see the market form a new leg to the downside. But now if we break above 121, then I would like to see possibly that act as support. And then we're going to possibly see another move back up towards 121.50, like that. That's only if we break the candlesticks close above this 121.2 level. Now, if these wicks hold and then the market is just forming this type of price action, then we're possibly going to see the market push down towards this level right here, because this 120 level is a key psychological level. It's been rejected from multiple times if you just go back and look to the left. So even just starting from here, we had a strong breakthrough. Price pulled up, acted as resistance, pushed down, came up, acted as resistance, pushed down, broke through, acted as support, came back down, hit that again, acted as support, pushed up, came back again, acted as support, pushed up, came back down, acted as support, pushed up, came back down, acted as support, pushed up. Once it broke through, acted as resistance with the wicks, 1 wick, 2 wick, 3 wick, dropped more lower. Bullish engulfing, broke back above it. Next candle, wicked it, acting as support, now push it up. So we could just clearly see that this level is like a magnet for price. So now, like I said, if price stays below this overall wick right here, the candlesticks, we're going to see price hit this 120 one more time. And then from there, we're going to see if price wants to reject back up to the upside, or if we're going to see a continuation back down like that. So overall, I'm liking bearish price action for this market, but because, like I said, it's Sunday, you kind of just need to wait to see and reevaluate Monday, Tuesday, and then see what the market is actually giving us. We don't want to, put too much predictions in the market. You kind of just want to take what price is giving you and then go from there. But overall, I like, if, like I said, if the market is holding below this level, then overall, I like to see bearish price action overall for EJ. All right, so I'm gonna go over a few more pairs. What pairs did I give out on the channel? Okay, yeah, so EURJPY is another pair that I sent out. All right, so when I sent it out, it was below 162, and I thought it would come to like this supply level, but it clearly broke above the supply level and came higher. So now looking at it on the 4 hour, we're possibly due for a correction. So simple as that. When price pushed up, it stayed below this wick right here, and this was the last previous high. So as long as we're staying below this, which is around 1.645, we're possibly going to see that correction back down to 163 and possibly 162.50. But 163 would be the more likely area where price can come before we have to reevaluate because of this strong bullish move. But overall, this 162.50 level is also a key level that's been getting rejected from, because if you look to the past, this previous low was around that level right there. But excuse me, because you don't want to, you don't want to hold the trade for too long, and just understand that price is already like at 163.8. So if it did push down to 163, that's like 80 pips in a market that's kind of undecided. If you just look at it back on a higher time frame, you could kind of see that there's not really no true trend. Maybe if you look at it on the weekly, like it's just a lot of choppiness. There's not really no lower highs and lower lows that are clearly forming. A seller may look at it one way and a buyer may look at it another way. There's not really no clear direction. So trades like this, I don't really like to, swing trade. If I do trade it, I just like to get in, get out, and then collect my quick pips. And I don't need to, trade this for too long. But because we had this strong rally to the upside and price is finding resistance and it failed to break above this level around here, 163.5 or 164.5, we're possibly due for this correction to the downside. And then once we get this correction, then we will reevaluate to see if the market wants to go back higher or if it wants to break below and then possibly hit structure that previously happened like around 162.5 or 162 support level. But until the market gives us or shows us what it's really trying to do, you kind of don't want to predict that. But just based off how the market is playing out right now, you could possibly see that it may be due for this correction to the downside. So as long as these highs hold, your stop loss will just go, 5 or 10 to 15 pips above this high, and then you could look to take it down towards 163. If the market breaks above that, then overall the market is still bullish, and you could kind of just not look at that bearish price action as a valid type of move. Because if the market breaks above this, then that means it broke this most recent lower high. And if it breaks that most recent lower high, that means it's showing us that the bulls are still in control. So now you'll just be looking for it to go even higher and possibly retest structure to the left around these levels. But as long as we stay below this, then we're going to see that correction to the downside. All right, so yeah, that's EA, and then AUDCHF. I don't trade this pair too much, but last week it was showing clear structure. So just looking, starting this trend line from this low and then connected it to this point B, the market was moving in an uptrend with this ascending trend line, and then you see that the market broke below. So with this candle right here that's highlighted, this yellow eclipse, the market broke below and broke the structure of this trend line. Once it did that, it pushed down and found support around 0.655, which is also support around this level. It gave us a pullback and retested the breakout of this trend line perfectly. So once we got that, you could have put sales, you could have put your sales here, put a stop loss either above this high or 20 to 30 pips above the trend line. From there, you see that the market slowly dropped down. So from there, when the market broke down, it broke back below the 50 EMA, pushed up, wick, moving average crossover, strong bearish engulfing candle that pushed price below now this support level around 0.655. Once we got a bearish engulfing below that, the market pushed back up and retested that was once support, now acting as resistance, and then it gave us another wave to the downside. And then once the market pushed down, it came perfectly down to 0.645, which was previously this low down here. So now, because we had the strong move, I'm still bearish on this pair, but we may be due for a correction to the upside, possibly either towards these lows right here around 0.65, or we may pull us up a little bit higher back towards these highs right here. So overall, I would like to see either one of these two get hit. And then from there, I'm trying to wait for more bearish price action, for some type of bearish price action to show, and then I'm going to look to take it even lower. Like that. So overall, I'm just looking at price to retest these levels because these were the most recent levels of support. If you just look, this level right here is also, like if I draw a horizontal ray, you can see that this point B on the trend line is that same level that price could potentially pull back to. And it's also this low right here. So that's just me following structure within the market. And then if it breaks above this level, the next key level of structure is going to be up here, because this was once the most recent low after price broke below that trend line and then found support. And then after it pushed up to retest, and then the market broke below and then it retested again and then it broke below. So either one of these two levels would be the levels I'm looking for retracement. And then from there, I'm waiting for some type of bearish price action to take it back lower to the downside. So pretty simple for AUDCHF. So on this video, I went over dollar index, gold, USDCHF, EJ, GJ, EA, and AUDCHF. Tomorrow, I like to do Market Monday because it's been a day within the charts, or it's been a day within the market's been open. So you kind of see how the market is like winding up for the week ahead. So overall, this is just my idea on how the market is going to look for this week. But just because, you know, this is the ideas of it, this may not be how the market, you know, actually plays out. So this is why we send the updates on Mondays and Tuesdays and Wednesdays and stuff like that. And we do London sessions because the market is always consistently changing. So you kind of just want to be able to react with the market on the go. You kind of don't want to have your set analysis unless it's, you know, like a clear trend or something like that. You never just want to be, you know, so caught on one side of, you know, being bullish or being bearish. You kind of always want to be open-minded, because just like that, the market can switch directions, and you kind of want to be able to adapt while the market is, you know, constantly switching and breaking bearish price action, moving bullish, stuff like that. So you just want to be adaptable to the market and not be so caught on to one direction. So overall, that's going to be the pairs that I go over. Kind of, it's been around like 30 minutes already. So if we have any updates, we're going to send them out to the Telegram. I'm going to post this on YouTube. So hopefully this video helps everyone that's tuning in and trying to get better at trading. And then we're going to be doing other sessions throughout the week. Look out for London session and then other markups on the Telegram channel. If you haven't, you could follow us on Instagram at EURJPY Analysis. And then we also have a Facebook group where we're starting to post more and be more interactive in that group. So keep an eye out for that. We posted the link in the Telegram. So if you guys wanted to follow us on there, you can do that also. So that's going to be it for this video. Hopefully, if you guys didn't watch this one, you can catch the next one. And follow us also on YouTube at EURJPY Analysis. So, yep, I'm out. Let's catch some pips this week.